Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. So she went from being, even NBC News poll said this was from, this was like from 2023. That was in 2023. She hits the record low for vice president net favorability. Even Jimmy Kimmel, the cuck of the establishment that he is, even he said so. Watch this.
Kamala Harris's approval rating is now at 28%, which is an historic low for any modern vice president.
28%, by the way, is the USDA daily absolute maximum amount of Kamala Harris allowed. She gets lower rating than Jimmy Kimmel's COVID beard. And he's saying that in church. Okay. And you remember when they wanted to kick her out? They wanted to, if they were, this is from Slate magazine in 2022. If Biden runs again, he should pick a new, she wasn't even good enough to be VP twice. She was the most unpopular vice president in the history of vice presidents, and all I can say is congratulations on breaking the previous low record for unpopularity. Finally, that was a trophy she actually earned.
I think only Jared from Subway has polled as a less favorable possible candidate.
Exactly, man. Why do you think I picked her, man? I picked her because no one would want to replace me, and then now what fucking happened? I don't understand. I picked her because she was the worst possible. What the fuck? I mean, and now they made me step aside. I mean, fuck you. You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me.
Even Politico said columnists called for Biden to drop Harris, pick a new running mate. That was in September of 2023. The New York Magazine said the case for Biden to drop Kamala Harris in September of 2023. How the fuck did they not get rid of, but not only did they not drop her as vice president, she's now going to be the president for the Democrat. Well, here's...
This is my favorite.
So this is Frank Luntz. So you know Frank Luntz, he's the pollster, and he's on MSNBC or CNBC, and he's going to tell you why they didn't get rid of her. Ready?
Do you believe the vice president steps into that role and that the Democrats ultimately support her in that position, or do you think we're talking about a completely different team?
Once again, who's going to step up? I can name you half a dozen people who would be better than her right now, but I'm talking to them and nobody wants to challenge her because nobody... Okay, I'm going to be direct. Yep. God help me, you may never have me on the show again.
You don't even have to say it. We understand.
Nobody wants to knock out an African-American woman and be held responsible for that. Right. And that is the truth. And that's something that maybe I'm going to be criticized when I walk off of here. But she's got such a strong position because of that. And here's the issue. Her favorability is still... She's the most unpopular vice president since Dan Quayle. Okay. And he was the most unpopular vice president since Aaron Burr.
Okay.
Luntz pulled a Burr.
No wonder he got so nervous and he paused, because that thing he said was true, right? I know I'll never be asked back, but here's an innocuous statement.
Hey, I know an Algerian Olympic champion boxer that would love to knock out an African American.
Hey, and let me just say this to Frank Luntz. How am I supposed to trust you if I can't trust your hair, okay? Just go fucking bald already, will you? Okay.
I was gonna say, hey Frank, get it through your thick wig. The Dem strategy. The Dem strategy is, I'm all you got.
I am watching this with morbid fascination. We are into William Gibson, Philip K. Dick territory with Kamala Harris. You are talking about a completely created avatar of a candidate that is all about signaling and image and connecting to cultural archetypes, and that's it. And that's it. It's a bizarre experiment to take somebody like this, who clearly is just empty and rather repulsive, as all of these videos show. She's a repulsive personality who's done horrible things to the communities the Democrats claim to care about. And yet, they flipped a switch. And that's it. And told people this is the one, and they just invested everything they want to see into her. And if you can make somebody president that way, without a single vote, God, I mean, okay, we haven't had a democracy for a long time, but now you're really into the late Roman imperial phase where they're still calling it a republic, and it's clearly an empire.
Do you know why Frank Lutz's famous thing he came up with was the phrase job creators? That's his claim to fame. He came up with job creators for rich cunts. If you're running a business correctly, you're not creating jobs. You're running as efficiently as possible. Slave owners are job creators. That's a job creator.
So here's Chuck Schumer announcing Kamala Harris becoming the nominee for the Democratic Party. Here we go.
So now that the process has played out.
The process has played out. It's not an election, it's a process. That's how you make cheese. That's how cheese is made. It's not how you pick a president. There's a process. Okay, here we go.
So now that the process has played out, from the grassroots bottom up,
the exact opposite happened. Ladies. The exact opposite happened. She was chosen by party bosses and the donor class and Wall Street and the military-industrial complex. Nobody chose her.
I thought he meant from from the bottom up, like a deep underground lizard people base.
So let's listen to him. Ready? You ready?
we are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
All right, go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. Have your little press thing here. Jimmy, the process was successful. That's how this works. It was a grassroots thing, sort of, inside the White House, where it was decided that she's going to be president, and everyone's happy about it, right? Right? I don't hear you. Oh, this is not going to go well for you, Buster Brown.
Jimmy Carter had more enthusiasm than this guy. It's hard to tell if he's truly excited or just at that moment his catheter fell out.
Either way, we're going to Gerald Ford this broad into the White House.
Let's wrap this up. I got to put some cheese on raw hamburger meat on a grill.
I mean, there was absolutely no enthusiasm. He's like, I'm going to clap, but it's like he's... not since we saw Jeb Bush, please clap. Have we had a moment like that? Let's watch it again.
So now that the process has played out, from the grassroots bottom up, we are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
All right.
He sounds like he's bringing up the headliner at the Funny Bone on a Tuesday.
Look at that shit-eating grin on his face. For them, this is democracy. This is what this really exposes. This is why you'll have George Clooney talking about democracy. You'll have Rob Reiner talking about democracy. It is democracy for them. For about 500 people who are deciding who you get to vote for. We have a democracy.
If you believe the most unpopular vice president in the history of the United States became America's sweetheart in 2 weeks, congrats. You are the mark the mainstream media was looking for.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. I accept your congratulations.
If you believe she's as popular as the media is telling you, I bet you believe that Australia has the next world record holder for breakdancing.
Yes, they do. Thank you for acknowledging it. Thank you. Now, please put on a mask.
By the way, wood. We all thought that, right?
Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.